Greetings, New Tech Academy. Miss Oberlin coming at you just with an update after starting school in 2020. We've been in it for 5 days now, and you'd think we'd have it all figured out, but the honest truth is we have nothing figured out yet. So I wanted to start off by saying thank you to our parents. Thank you for trusting your children with us to educate them and allowing us some flexibility as we try to figure out what the new normal looks like in 2020. I also want to say thanks publicly to our teachers and staff at New Tech. They're absolutely crushing it, and whatever tasks they have in front of them, they're figuring out a way to come together and collaborate and work around what our issues are so that we can still educate children. So thank you to them as well for being absolutely amazing. And then last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to our kids. We weren't really sure what school would look like for them when they walked in these doors, or whether they were sitting at home doing virtual learning, and they have been outstanding. They're helping us, they're following the new protocols, and quite honestly, they're giving us ideas that we never thought of. So thanks to our kids as well. I wanted to update you on a few things we've tried to figure out as we have been in school for 5 days. The first piece I want to talk to you about is virtual learning. So there's still some misconceptions on what this looks like. We are asking that you continue your school while you are at home as you would as if you were in the building. You need to show up to periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and make sure you're participating in your class. There's a submit button on the Echo page, and that is our way of taking attendance. So if you aren't logging in and pushing that button, we don't necessarily know if you've engaged or not. So please make sure you're doing that every day with us. We need you to participate in Zooms, in collaboration, in Google Docs, in watching videos your teachers have created to make sure you're still learning and moving forward. So this is part of that agency piece we preach so much at New Tech, where you have to be responsible for your own learning. So we're asking you to jump on board and be a part of this learning process with us. On that same note, for my juniors and seniors, a lot of you are asking about jobs. And right now, you should not be working jobs during school hours. You are still a full-time student. It just looks different. But you need to be engaged in your classes, whether you're in school or at home, every single day. If you are having some issues with an employer who's pressuring you to work, just reach out to us. We'll have your back, we'll get it covered, we'll contact the employer, but you do need to be in class, not at work during school hours. I'd also like to talk about how you call in a sick student. So even if you are virtual, we need you to follow the rules as if you were in the building. So if your child is sick or they have an appointment, we need you to contact the school so that we can code it that way. If your child is sick and they are a hybrid student, we will probably pass you off to our school nurse so they can make sure they follow the new protocol based on COVID processes. If you are scheduling an appointment, as always, we ask that you try to do it around school hours, but we know that things come up and you know what's best for your family. For my freshman parents asking about Echo accounts for parents, those are coming. Give us about 1 more week and we'll get those out to you. You're going to get a generic email that says it's coming from me. It'll have your username and your password, and will lead you to our Echo sign-in page so that you can monitor your students' grades. I'd also like to take about headphones. If you have headphones, we're going to ask you to start bringing them to school. The more we Zoom in a classroom, the more feedback we get. So the headphones make it easier for students to have that collaboration. If you don't have access to headphones, please come see me and we will work something out. I also want to talk a little bit about lunch. Lunch was pretty rough for the first couple days. They're used to a place where they can go have fun, hang out with their friends, and it just looks a lot different this year. We were able to come up with a plan, and actually our seniors initiated it, so thank you seniors, to allow the students to have their own seating chart. We just want to make sure that while they are super excited to be back around their friends and we want them to socialize, they have to be mindful of the mask. So when you're eating, you can take your mask off, you can have a break. If you choose not to socialize, you can keep the mask off for the entire lunch. But if you are going to engage in socializing after your lunch, you do have to put it back on before you turn sideways and talk with your friends. Parents, they're doing a great job, but just encourage them to continue to make sure they're following those guidelines so we can kind of have some flexibility at lunch. The last piece I want to talk about are Zoom protocols. Zoom is a part of our world now, so whether it's Zoom or Google Meet or whatever other platform we use, we need to make sure we understand that this is an extension of the classroom. So be mindful of what you're wearing, of what you put for your backdrop, or what you may have in your hands during a Zoom. It needs to be school appropriate. It needs to follow the guidelines for what you would do if you were actually in the classroom. On that same note, remember a Zoom is your virtual classroom. Please get yourself out of bed, sit up, prep yourself for the day, and know that you are going to school. So engage yourself in that way. When I was home during closure, I found one space in my house that served as my virtual school office. And I knew that when I was in that position, it was time for me to get busy and to get focused on work. If that helps you, do that. Create your own at-home virtual classroom so that when you get into that spot, you know you have to be professional and be ready to collaborate with your peers. We want to see your face. We want to talk with you. So make sure those microphones and those screens are on so that you are fully engaging with your classmates. I know this is a change and we're all learning. I want to thank you guys again for helping us out. We will continue to grow every single day. I'm asking that you stay safe, you stay strong, and stay curious. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.